call me when you're ready.
Yes, take it away, Mr. Mike. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you say I can start.
Yes.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody of the Team Line Kings. This is your Jaja calling all the way from Cape Town in South Africa. I'm so happy to join with you. 2 weeks ago, Justice wanted me to join in a meeting, but at that stage we were in Barcelona with a company on a company event, and I always miss when I miss an opportunity to share with you. But this time I'm at home, so I'm very glad to be with you. I want to welcome any guests that we may have on the call this evening. Now, unfortunately, I can't see who may be guests, but you know, there was a time when we were guests as well, meaning when we saw this opportunity for the first time. Now, that is a long time ago. In fact, that was in May of 1983. So that makes it almost 40 years. And why we joined Neolife was not because we expected anything big from it. It was just a situation that we needed more money than my salary was bringing in. And we joined, me thinking that this is just something for my wife. If she sold those days, it was more focused on the cleaning products. If she sold some Super 10 and LDC and G1 to friends and people she knew and brought us in some extra money, I thought that was the business. But then just after we joined in May, as I said, in June, the company had a big convention, quite a distance from where we lived. And my sponsor only ever did two things for us. Firstly, they got us to join. And the second thing is they taught us, or well, me, my wife couldn't go. Our children were small. She had to look after the children. And in any case, we didn't have money for both of us to go to a convention. In fact, I had to borrow money to go there because it meant spending 2 nights in a hotel in Durban. But that opened my eyes to how great Neolife really is, what it can do in people's lives, and the spirit in which it is done. I sensed a love and a caring there that I couldn't associate with business. And although I couldn't immediately or didn't immediately become really serious about Neolife because I was in full-time church ministry, and I never saw myself as a business person, that made in my mind and in my understanding of the business such a difference that eventually, after about 3 years, I came to a point where I decided, well, God can use me in business, not just in the church. And I decided that I will go leave the formal ministry, still involved with the church, but not as a paid minister in the church. I got a job just to tide me over and started working part-time until I could make a living out of Neolife. And that has been now for the last probably 36 years that Neolife has been our only source of income. And it has so changed our lives. If I had to describe to you, I would need a long time. We've got 4 children. They're all grown now. We've got 6 grandchildren. Tomorrow, the youngest is being baptized, and I'm happy that I'll be part of that. But when our children were growing up, Neolife made it possible for me to educate the children, to give them all the opportunities they wanted, which wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for Neolife. Because when Neolife came our way, Our children weren't even at school yet, and I was broke. My salary only took me halfway through the month. We lived on borrowed money for the rest of the months, and you understand that couldn't continue indefinitely. So if I was broke when the children were still small, how would I have been able to educate them when they were growing up? Because everybody with children and growing children know that the older your children get, the more expensive they become, the more their needs are. And then there are other things as well, like I've always been one for traveling. In fact, before we had children, we'd saved up all our money for a number of years. I took long leave and we did a tour through Europe in a camper for 3 months. That was wonderful. But when we came back, we had no money. And then the first child came, and the rest of the story I've told you. But that dream of traveling has always been with me. And when we joined Neolife, I heard people traveling and going to wonderful places. And I always thought, well, you know, it's for other people. It will never happen for us. And I was wrong. In fact, as I said just 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we were having dinner with a number of the diamonds and PTs of Neolife in Barcelona, in Spain. And we had a wonderful time there. I said to the World Team members that if they think a World Team conference is something, they yet have to attend a Diamond Lifestyle event. The company takes care of everything. We had our private tour guides. They paid for everything, meals, all the sightseeing we did. And it actually cost us nothing. Now, when we were new in the business, I never thought about things like that happening for us. And why I'm telling you this, and I'm speaking to the guests and to the new distributors, well, to everybody, is to say that Neolife can do so much more for you than you might think or believe at this stage. I'm going to say that again. Neolife can do so much more for you than you can think or believe. And if you are like I was and you think, well, me, you know, how could it happen for me? I'm this, I'm that. You know, one of the wonderful things I discovered in Neolife, it's not where you are now. It's not what you know. It's not what you're able to do now. Everything you need to be able to do or become, you can learn. And you are so fortunate that you are in a team where there is such a lot of emphasis on training and personal development and growth. And that was a very important discovery I made in Neolife. You see, I'd studied, was at university for 7 years, not because I failed so often, that was just how long I had to study. And I'd been working in ministry for about 13 years when Neolife came along. And I never realized that there's such a thing as personal development. And to you, coming into Neolife, you may think, well, what's that? That's just, you know, you may think, well, I don't understand that. That's got nothing to do with me. The fact is that each of us is able to do much more than we think we can. Why? Because each of us have the talents and the abilities that God gave us to do with our lives what He meant for us to do with our lives. The fact that maybe we've not used our talents and abilities enough to be where we should be, well, that's what often happens in people's lives. But it's not where we are. It's not what we have. It's not what we haven't. We think we haven't got. One of the wonderful things New Life will do for you is to make you grow as a person, become more skilled, more confident. And in that process, just also able to grow the business to the level that you might dream of, but maybe not believe possible. You see, the mistake people make when they come into our business, they look at it and they say, well, this is easy. You know, just talk to people and everybody will join and everything will be fine. And in fact, that's not exactly how it is. Because you will soon discover that not everybody is going to join or buy from you. You'll also discover people who will criticize you for what you're doing, people who will try and pull you down. Because, you know, often the people around you don't want to see you go up because that will make them look bad. If you become wealthy and financially free and they're still broke, that makes them look bad, and people don't like that. So they'll try to pull you back. So it's not always easy. And that is why we need to, I want to call it psychologically, but that is not something that happens overnight. Even I, after so many years in the business, find I still have to grow in certain areas. We never reach perfection, but we should always strive towards that. And the fact is, you may have joined Neolife just to make a part-time income, and that is fine. Neolife is designed for people who just want to make a part-time income, or even a full-time type income, but still working part-time in the business. That is fine. That can happen. I know of people, professional people, who still have their profession, still have their jobs, but earn as much or more out of New Life than they get paid for. But if that is all you want, that is fine. But I'm telling you that if you think a bit bigger, if your dreams are a bit bigger, you want more, New Life can give you more. And if tonight you feel, well, I can't, I'm not ready for it, I'm not equipped for it, don't worry. I'm telling you, if you're willing to learn, you can learn. We will teach you because we want you to grow in the business. You see, and that is one of the things that attracted me to Neolife and to our kind of business. Our kind of business, if you really understand it, is built on helping other people succeed, helping other people achieve what they want. Now, you'll understand if you're a new manager and you sponsor 3 other people become managers, you will move up to senior manager. If you're a senior manager and you have the people who keep you on that level, but in the meantime, you develop 3 other senior managers, they will all help you move up to director. And so if you're a director and you develop 1 other director, you move up to the world team. So each step of the way up in our business is built on helping other people move up. Now, surprisingly, not everybody understands that. You actually find people who come into the business, they have some success, and then somehow they see their downlines as a threat. I don't understand that kind of thinking. They try and keep their downlines down. And that is so, I've only got one word for it, so stupid. If ever you cheat or lie or steal from a downline, you either have to change or leave the business. Now, the understanding is that as you grow, with the help of your uplines, with the help of the team, you learn to help other people. You don't have to know everything in the beginning. You can't. But the little you know, you start teaching. And then as people based on that start growing up, by that time you know a little bit more and you can teach a little bit more. But then you've got to be willing to learn. You've got to be willing to take time to learn, to attend training, to look at the videos that come on the team sites, to read the books, to ask questions. But you know, a lot of your learning will come from doing. It is one thing to learn theoretically, but if you want to be a good presenter, the only way to do that, you learn from other people, you listen how it's done, but it would be by doing it yourself. And in the process, you'll make mistakes. I've made huge mistakes. I remember many years ago in Cape Town, we had just moved to Cape Town, and there was a downline here who now thought, well, okay, I'm the upline, I know better. And he asked me to go with him one evening to go and do a presentation to people, a one-on-one presentation. And you know, by the time we left that house and we were standing outside on the pavement, I said to him, Bruce, if everything you saw tonight, just do the opposite, you'll be all right. Because I made such a mess of it. Yet I was taking this downline to now show him how it's done, and I made a complete mess of it. But I didn't let that stop me. I took that as a learning experience. To know next time I should watch out for this and watch out for that and not do it the same. So I want to encourage you as new managers, new senior managers, well, new distributors, and even people who are just still considering the business. Just jump in, just do it. And as you do it, know you may make mistakes, but the biggest mistake we can make is to do nothing. The biggest mistake we can make is to do nothing. Because if we do nothing, nothing can happen. If we do something, nothing may happen, but something could happen. You see, and the more we do, the more our chances of success increase. And the more we learn, the more skilled we will become. Now, when one is new in the business, that is a very difficult period because, you know, you make more mistakes than you make later on. You may not know exactly how to do things or do things wrongly, and then your results in the beginning are relatively less than it probably would be later on. So that is the very time that you've got to remind yourself that you are now in school. You're in the New Life School. And in the New Life School, just in any other school, if you begin in grade 1, you can't expect to perform on grade 6 or grade 10 or grade 12 level. You've got to grow to those levels. And therefore, our business needs, on the one hand, work, even if it's part-time, so many hours a week. But it also needs patience. To know that the seed we sow today will not come up today and give fruit today. You know, I've had the experience many years ago, like 13, 14, 15 years ago. I was working in Congo at great expense. I eventually got to a point where I decided I can't afford to carry on because I was spending a lot of money and nothing was happening. But you know what? Some years ago, some of the people who knew of me from those days started looking for me coming back. Now I've got a sapphire leg in Congo. I've got a director leg in Congo. I've got new legs coming up. Many, many, many years after I first started sewing there. So you see, one of the big mistakes people make in our business and why they fail is they give up too soon. That happened to my sponsor. See, my sponsor sponsored us, and I can't remember that he ever sponsored anybody else. But then because we started very slowly, our sponsor probably thought, well, nothing is going to happen in this business, and they quit. And I can tell you, only afterwards, after they quit, we got going, and even then we got going very, very slowly. But if our sponsor had stayed in the business and just got to the level of being a qualified director, they would have been sapphire directors for the last 30 years or more. And just the money they would have earned as sapphire directors. I can't suddenly put the amount into shillings, but it's a small fortune that they've lost because they quit before the business started working in their downline. So, as I'm saying, we need to work and we need to be patient because the results don't always come when we want them to come or when we expect them to come. But as we keep working, it comes. And you see, the power of network marketing is that eventually, as your network grows and develops, people that you may not even know in countries that you may have to go and look on the map to find out where it is, people will start joining your business because somewhere in the downline, somebody has brought in somebody in a different your expectations. You are part leaders understand that you are important and that they go to so much excuse me to help you grow in the business. And that's why I'm so happy to future for all who stay with the team and who now it's up to you to decide what you want from New Life. Small, a bit bigger, or something big. And big enough. Because New Life can give you much more than you can think. And from my side, I want to wish a very, very happy new life. A life in New Life that I know can give you a lot of fulfillment, a lot of joy, and a lot of money. And there's nothing wrong with money. Money is just a means of something that we do something with. Do with money. But good people with a lot of money can do a lot of good. Bad people with a lot of money can do a lot of bad. Gain financial freedom. You can not only just change your own lives, but you can do so much more for people who are not in a position to uplift themselves. And I believe that gives a lot of meaning to our lives. When we are able to reach out and touch people who are underprivileged, because the joy in giving is something that, well, you cannot explain that. And that is all that New Life offers you. Apart from things like good health. I was seeing somebody in a shop this morning, and he was saying, "You look so healthy." And I said, "Well, thank you. I'm blessed." And I know that's because for almost 40 years we've been. So, Joseph, with that, I think I should finish and wish you all the best and blessings, and keep up the good work. And for the new people, hold on to this, and your life will cherish you. So, from my side, good night. It's been great sharing with you, and God bless.
Wow. 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 Thank you very much, Mr. Mike, for the words of encouragement. You are a diamond, and we promise you that we shall